Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone. Thanks for tuning in to Wind Down Fridays with Give a Sister a Hug. I'm your girl, Author Erica, and I have my fabulous co-host on with me tonight, Author Kim. And we in July already, which I'm happy about.
Oh,
I don't know why, but I'm happy about July. I was happy about June. June, I hope, first of all, y'all, let's touch on June a minute. Let's
okay.
touch on June.
Okay.
June was the best. Even though
Yes.
we had Pride Month and we
Yes.
also had feminine expression. So
Yeah.
for all of everybody who probably didn't see the show, I need y'all to go check the show out for the month of June. It was very informative,
Yes.
especially for us ladies, especially
Yes.
for us as ladies in the bed and inside outside of the bed too. We touched on how we own our yeses and owning our nos, and taking back our voices as saying what we want and what we don't want in a bed, which we
Right.
mainly touched on in a bed, but it also can translate to our everyday life too. Because
Mm-hmm.
as y'all in the last episode, me and Kim, myself and Kim, we talked about how we experienced it outside of the bed more than anything. Because I'm single, so I wouldn't even know what that feel like in the inside of bed. But I can't wait to try it out. But anyway, uh,
You having
we
sex,
did.
sister. It's the same thing. Okay. You having sex. It don't matter if you're married, if you
But
ain't.
it's just the difference of owning our yeses and saying what we want. Because like as our friend Yanni said, we will fake our orgasms for men.
Okay.
So now we don't. Now we have this thing of she taught us how to own it. And also she taught us the breathing techniques, some breathing techniques, which helps. I like the breathing techniques because it helps me to meditate, because it helps me bring me down from my whole day. So I need y'all to go check that show out. Those shows out because that was dope. And we
Yeah.
also
Start from the first one because it's a build up to it. So don't skip it because she is taking you through a transition of knowing who you are. Well, you know who you are, but really knowing who you are. And like Erica was saying, the yeses and the no's. So you start to see yourself on this journey. And by the end of June, you be all together. Yeah.
And then we also have our pride talk too, because we intertwine pride into that too. And we had our good sister Dion telling us how it is to be a lesbian in this world and any experiences that she encountered being a lesbian and a businesswoman and just a woman as a whole, because I know that can be, I can only imagine that can be very stressful because you still have people out here that's ignorant to the fact. Me personally, I have no problem with it because at the end of the day, we all bleed the same red blood and we all human, so we all deserve love. It shouldn't be based up on our sexualities. It shouldn't
Correct.
even matter.
Facts.
So
Mhm.
D came on and talked to us, which was great. I really enjoy our friend Yanni. She was on, and I struggle with her name, y'all. Don't even get it twisted, because there ain't no judging here. I struggle, but a
Yeah.
sister got it together.
But she got it now. Okay.
Cause I gotta take my time with it.
Right.
So it was June was very good. So I'm excited about June. I'm also excited about us moving in July. July gonna be our pretty. We have mental health in July.
Yes.
What it is?
It's National
Mental
Minority, yeah, National Minority Mental Health Month.
health is something that I feel like just don't get enough of touch on, because people, and this go back to our talk that we had about physical and mental health,
Hmm.
where some people try to brush off people with anxiety have anxiety. Anxiety is a part of mental health. Just because you can't physically see it doesn't mean it don't exist, because it
Correct.
does exist. We all deal with, I feel like we done been through this whole pandemic. I feel like we all have dealt with some type of mental health somewhere in that year, and
Yep.
especially that time that we was locked up inside.
Mm-hmm.
So,
As of now are going back to lock up inside. So yeah,
so it's been a
which is
challenge.
nuts. It
Yeah,
has
because they
been.
got another strain or something coming out.
Yep, it's another strand that's already out, girl. I'm starting now in Texas, starting to see more people with masks on. I'm just like, what happened? You wasn't wearing a mask before. Now all of a sudden, I go to the store and like half the store have mask on. When
Wow.
last week a lot of people didn't have no mask on, and I'm like, oh okay. And then they looking at you this week. Oh okay, people got their mask on. Why you got your mask on? What's going on? Because you could still die from the Rona, no matter if you vaccinated or not.
Yep.
Yes.
And then with this new strain, because I think here in Louisiana, they say they had a case of this new disease. I'm not even sure what it is, but they say it was a new strain that came out, and we had a case. I'm like, we never got rid of Corona, so
Right.
so.
Her still here.
uh,
Mm-hmm.
I
Her
mean,
still here.
she's chilling. Like,
Chilling.
can you go?
Mm-hmm.
Can you give? Give us a
Mm.
break, goddamn.
Mm-mm, mm-mm, mm-mm,
Let up
mm-mm.
on us.
Yeah.
Let the stop
Mm-mm,
applying the pressure on us.
mm-mm,
You
mm-mm.
have been putting our doctors and nurses through stress.
Man, and they still, and still, people are still dying. And, especially when you get on TikTok, Jesus, TikTok could just have you girl all in your feelings, Lord. And you on TikTok and you will look at the hashtags, and the hashtags will sit up there and tell you they just died of corona. You be like, wait a minute. And then it will say vaccinated. Wait a minute. What's did they have an underlying condition? It doesn't matter, because if you're supposed to be fully vaccinated, you should
Vaccinated.
have all that in your system that's supposed to fight against it. Oh, because it's a different strain. Ah, okay.
Which is crazy. Like that's
Baby,
crazy. So we have been gone.
baby.
We all have to I think it's very important that we all check in with ourselves. And not only that, check in on our strong friends, the ones who want to check on you. Check in on
That be
them.
me. I'm the strong friend, and Erica's forever checking on me, which I appreciate that, because she be like, wait a minute, something ain't right. I be like, yeah, but we ain't gonna talk about it. She gonna make me talk about it. Yeah, yeah.
We all gotta talk about it. Ain't no sense to holding it in hell.
Facts.
Because
Facts.
what that's gonna do? Drive you
Girl,
more
do nothing give me blood
insane.
pressure. Make my pressure up. That's all. Just make my pressure up. It's already be up, but it makes it worse. So.
So it's important that we check in on our family members, even if you don't want to talk to their asses. Hey, you all right? Okay, then have a
Um,
good one.
let's talk on that. Let's talk on that for a second. Let's talk on that for a second. Okay. So,
Family like hell.
okay. Well, let's talk on that for a second, because what's her name? Her name is Keita Rose, and I discovered her on TikTok. TikTok have you knowing everybody. Anyway, but come to find out, Keita Rose actually lives in Texas. I just don't know what part. But anyway, I posted her a couple of times on Quality Day Foundation, because some of the things that she says, you be like, dead on, dead on. Like, you're not, what's the word? Oh, I'm scared to say it, but she'll say it for me. Just listen to her. She'll tell you how I'm feeling. But I just seen one that was circulating about her and toxic family. And it threw me for a second, because she was like, you go over to your family house and Nana sit up there, pretty much talk about you, tell you ain't shit, and whoop de whoop, and just don't make you feel good as a person on the inside. So it's like, okay, so what am I supposed to do? And I just hate going over here, but she's my Nana. And when the next thing she said was fuck Nana, girl, that about took me out. I was like, wait a minute, what? Fuck Nana. Wait a minute. But that's Manana. But once you really sit there and you think about it, It's a choice.
It
It's
is.
a choice. It's a choice. Even though, your family is toxic, because I have some toxic family members. Yes,
I
I
think
have.
everybody have some of that in their family.
But it's a choice. It's a choice of, do I want to continue to put myself and my family through the bullshit that you giving me? It's a choice. And I'm doing it because you're my mother. I'm doing it because you're my father, or whatever you are, whatever your title is. But do I have to, as a old ass woman, have to sit up here and deal with your shit?
And not taking your insults, no. It's a
And see,
choice.
is and I think that's where a lot of people struggle with, because but that's my mother. And what word describes her as a mother? Because if she gave birth to you and she raised you the best of her ability, but if she's talking down to you, if she's not making you feel like, I'm just gonna say, the woman that you are, why do we keep subjecting ourselves to that?
Because I think it's because we feel like that's our mama, or that's our grandma, or that's our daddy, or that's our auntie.
I
But
mean,
at the end of the day, it's a choice. We
it's a
have to
choice.
we have to
Yes,
make those decisions whether we distance
yes.
ourselves.
That's why I live in Texas.
We got to make that choice to distance ourselves for our own sanity.
Yes.
Because
You
at
you
times I live in a house with my mama. We need our space, and I come in my room. I go and leave because we all have to. You gotta give yourself that space,
mhm.
and especially if you know the relationship is toxic, you gotta give yourself
it's
that space.
it's when it comes to the whole toxic thing, like, I could love you from afar. I don't wish anything bad upon you. If you need me in a case of emergency, and it better be a motherfucking emergency,
Like my mama
I
say, your
got
ass
you.
better be bleeding.
I got you. But if you come in with some old bullshit, you want to talk about what Nuck Nuck did, I don't get. And it
Uh,
goes back to when me and you had a conversation about how things that are negative get more views, get more people talking about it, um, comments, whatever. Then we sitting up here talking about mental health. You'll get,
me-
oh yeah, that was good. Okay, but what you talking about? What's juicy? You have to grab their attention, but it has to be drama filled. Why? I want a peaceful life.
I mean, we all should want a peaceful life, but some people get off on drama,
Ooh,
and I'm not
ooh,
sure why though, because I got drama in my life. What the fuck I want with somebody else's drama? Their drama might be worse than mine.
girl, yes,
My drama might,
girl.
when you talk to them, my drama might be like that. But
Mhm,
people feel off of drama. People feed off of drama. People feed
mhm,
off of negative.
yeah.
And I mean, at some point, like, we gotta change that because you have so many people out here that's doing good stuff.
Mhm,
We have kids, you rather talk about the kids that's in these domestic violence relationships, or their parents are in these domestic violence and they're not able to feed them. But
mhm,
can we talk
mhm,
about some of the kids that have their business at 7 years old? Can we talk
mhm,
about some of the kids that have their own business at 9 years old?
mhm,
Can we shed some light on them? Not to say that the kids that's going through the domestic violence or in the domestic violence with their parents ain't important,
mhm.
but you only honing in on it to talk about it, not honing in on it to
Because it's
change
dropping.
it.
Mhm.
Right, but
Yeah,
okay,
because what are you doing
to
to
fix the
help?
problem.
What do I mean, you bringing awareness, but how are you bringing in awareness? You're putting the victim
Negative.
on TV, so you're re-victimizing the victim. So
You're
make that
bringing in
make sense.
negative. Even if you want to help, you bringing in negative because you making it out of a situation when the situation is big that we need to change that. Like,
Yeah.
it's just I see it all the time how people feed off of negative, or I see how you could wear clothes as a female. I can wear a shirt and a pair of pants and a pair of jeans and nice tennis and my hair done. You're gonna give me 2 likes. But if I got my
Mm-hmm.
ass out,
Mm-hmm.
I got a
Mm-hmm.
1,000 likes. Why you can't like me
Mm-hmm.
with my clothes on?
Mm-hmm.
I'm still
Mm-hmm.
beautiful.
Mm-hmm. But then it turns into, depending on who you are, body shaming. I don't care if you're skinny, you thick, you fat, don't matter. Then it turns into body shaming. Or I wish I had the confidence that you had.
You can. It's
Everybody
inside
has
of
that
you.
confidence. Yeah, everybody
It,
has it.
it's
You
inside of
just
you.
have to
You
know
just have
you
to
have
dig
it.
for it. You got to dig for it. It's like, and a lot of it comes back to, what body shaming, even with being a plus size girl, it comes back to the negative that you get. It's like you got to fight. I have the one lady that's on there, her name is Chickadee. Like, she
Yeah.
always have to shut it down. Like, don't come on here with these fat
Mm.
phobias and this shit here. Because she got on a 2-piece, you gonna make her feel this little because she have on a 2-piece?
Mary friend. Yep. I love her.
You gotta make her,
Yeah.
like one time somebody slid in her DM and was like, "Oh, I do free one-on-one training, exercise training." The fuck that mean? Did I ask for a training?
Did I ask for it? Did I post that I'm looking for a trainer? Did I ask? See, that's the thing. Why do you feel like you're entitled to come to me and say, I just want you to know I offer these free services if you need them, girl, because you need them.
Why you couldn't slide in her DM with some makeup and say, "Here you go, sis. I think this makeup will look cute on you
I got
if you
this
want to
makeup
do
line
something."
and I got this makeup line and I want to see, I'm just passing out some samples to people. All I need is your feedback. You could have did that.
So I
You could
mean,
have
and I
came with
don't
I
know.
have the if to me you could have came with, okay, I have these workout clothes that I'm making strictly for plus size women. So I'm needing feedback from plus size women.
Exactly.
I think that would have been better than, hey, I offer these one-on-ones because I think you're fat, but without me saying that you're fat.
Did I ask you for that? Like, and then the thing is, and I feel like even if she would have came and asked for the shit, you probably would have given some negative shit. So
Mm-hmm.
it's like it's in some ways you damn if you do and you damn if you don't.
Because everybody that's overweight doesn't mean they have a disability, doesn't mean they have high cholesterol, doesn't mean they have high blood pressure, don't mean none of that. People are just built different, period. It doesn't matter if I eat lettuce all day long. I could have something wrong with my thyroid, something that you might not see, asshole. So this is how I deal with it. So how do you think it's okay? Do I come to you and talk about your little dick or something?
Could you
Mm,
fix that? Could you fix that shit?
you can't go get your dick pumped. Okay. Oh Lord, I just want to feel okay.
Oh
Let me
Lord.
let me stay on track. Let me stay on track. I'm coming
I
back.
mean, I don't know. I just try to figure out why is it so important to um make people feel bad instead of finding ways to uplift people. We have dealt with a lot. We have been through a lot. Like, it's time to make each other feel good.
Mm-hmm.
And you know
Mm-hmm.
what's crazy? The shit happens. The people that make you feel bad often is the ones that lay in the same bed with you and the ones that's
Ooh.
close to you. It's not the
Mm.
outside. I don't think you don't need, like
Half the
those
time it's not the outside, it's the
the
motherfuckers that you live with.
The outsiders
That's
are the ones who trying to help you get through it all.
yes. Some. Then you got some that's girl, you know he just crazy. Just gonna hang on in there. It's gonna be all right. You know he good to you. Really? Okay. Why don't you come sleep with his ass? Okay.
This
You
bastard just
have
this bastard just called me ugly. And and that takes us to this whole thing on TikTok. And I know a lot of y'all on TikTok, on Instagram with the famous twins.
oh my
And that
God.
that situation, it just make you step back and wonder. Like,
Mm-hmm.
is family that bad?
That's that now. That right there. Whoo! I don't want it. I don't want it. I that is my twin. I don't care what nobody say. Really. Everybody, you don't know the full story. What we do know is what's been posted online. So what's been posted online was the actual after it happened and watching the expression of these two girls. What one named Allie and the other one is a Sway. And the Sway is the one with the tattoo on the neck. Am I saying
Yes.
that right? Hold on.
Yes.
Now you get online and you tell or you lie because this is where the conflict comes in. You get on here and all I'm hearing about she got 5K. I mean 500K, a half a meal. That's all I'm hearing. A half a meal, and she didn't share. That's all the fuck I heard. I didn't hear nothing else. That's all the fuck I heard. So you mad at your sister because your sister gets a half a meal and don't know the situation around that.
But
Why
the
she
trip
didn't give it to
is,
you?
you learn too. The Alice was the one that was always the rapper. She brought Sweat in as her
Mm-hmm.
hype girl.
Mm-hmm. She
They
started
did
out
this.
as her hype girl. Then it went into, I guess I'm gonna throw a bar, a lyric, or
What
whatever
she said is
out
she said
there.
she was gonna help her sister to get to the point where she can rap.
Mm-hmm.
She
Yeah.
was saying it. She on the interview that show where she was like, she just my hype girl. I'm the rapper. She my hype girl. But we gonna get her there to put out her album. But it's just so crazy how this half a mil done turn these sisters into they ready to
And
roll.
then now that it's not a half a meal, I think two or three people that I've watched said that she was just capping. What it boils down to was eight eight hundred no $8,000 from unemployment
Mhm.
that that Allie was supposed to be getting. And you know, you supposed to when you apply for unemployment, you're supposed to keep continuing to apply. So once you are finally approved, all that back money they owe you. So that was like 8 racks. So instead of Allie paying attention, because you also still have to remember these is young adults, like 2021. So with that being said, you know, you talk to your best friend who is your sister and tell her the business and how what you're trying to do, and your sister who ain't shit, I said it, who went to her abusive boyfriend, because that's now what's coming out, that she is been in abusive with Henry. So with all that being said, you and Henry, now this is where it gets fucked up for me. You and Henry come together and y'all gonna take y'all sister money. Then what happened was the unemployment people called her and she was like, "Nah, I ain't got no money. What you talking about? What you talking about? That's not what's going on." And then come to find out, well, yeah, you just updated this to this and updated this to this. And she was like, "Nah, I ain't did none of that." That's your sister that's doing that shit to you.
And they stole her social security number too.
Well, I don't want to say stole because she gave it to her sister. She gave it to her sister
Well,
because you have to
no,
have.
you're right. Let's retract that. I gave it to you because you're my sister.
She,
Why
yeah,
I
I
can't give
gave
you
it
my
to you.
social?
Well, I mean, you're helping me get my unemployment. So, you know how to do it. So I'm coming to you because you're my sister and you know how to do it. So let's get this shit working and twerking. Now, this is where I'm confused at because she sit up there and said that she's been getting food stamps for a long time. Okay. And then, and you now you're trying to get unemployment. I'm just trying to understand, make that make sense to me. Because how are you getting food stamps? Huh? How are you getting food stamps? Are you living at home with your parents and you ain't? But then not just that, then it's a petition. They was getting ready to start a petition in the
To get them
neighborhood
out,
that you moved
yeah.
into because y'all was in there acting so bad. From the neighbors said from the time they moved in, it's been a fight every other night. That's a problem.
And if they're gonna
That's
bring, if they're gonna get a petition to put you out
to
a
get
whole
y'all asses out of
neighborhood,
there.
something ain't right.
Make it make sense. It don't
And
make
it
sense.
just, and then the way she, the way she's on there making it all seem like Allen, like you throwing your sister under the bus.
I
Like
need for Ellen to
that's
stand
your
on her own
blood
right
sister.
now. I need for her to stand on her own because your sister did that shit to you. None of this would have happened if your sister and see this is where the whole abuse comes from. Because if you're in an abusive relationship with Henry, you and Henry is getting into it, right? So you and Henry getting into it all the time. So your sister sitting up here telling you because Henry put his hands on your twin a month or so ago, right? So why is Henry in our house? Make it make sense.
Because that's our house and I do what I want to do.
So it's okay for him to beat your ass, but it's okay for him to beat mine too. No, that's not how I roll. I'm sitting up
We
here
ain't
telling
doing
you
it.
that. We're not doing that. Henry
It's,
got to go.
and it's the loyalty,
Ain't
it's
none.
the
Ain't
loyalty
none.
with family. Like it's like that whole situation
Mm-hmm.
is a lot of things that family wise that you just don't do. I mean, even if money give me his social security number, I'm not gonna give it to my boyfriend. Or I'm not gonna go to my boyfriend and say, hey, we got money, social security number. Let's just no. Because that's my brother. Not a bitch get on my nerves. But
And
that's my
right. But see,
brother.
that's the thing. I'm entitled to talk about my motherfucking sister. You ain't. Who are you?
Exactly. I'm entitled to put
You
my
can't do
hands on
it.
him, but not you.
Come on.
Like it just goes to show you how easily influence that anything could influence you to go against your family. And that's what this world is. And like I feel to believe this is why this pandemic is here. Because we can't get it together with family. So many
Mm,
families and that whole tragedy with with them twins and they daddy, like that's a whole tragedy to show you how much money or whatever and loyalty could influence a family. I mean that shit influenced that family till that man is
mm-hmm.
dead. And these two
Protecting his
girls
daughter.
now,
Mm-hmm.
they throwing each other under, well, she throwing her sister under the bus.
Way.
Like we
Mm-hmm.
twins. And they look
Mm-hmm.
alike, so that mean they was in the same sex. So that mean we should be kicking ass together.
That's how it's supposed to be.
That mean we going against it's us against the world.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing should be able to
Mm-hmm.
come between us.
Nothing. No dick. No money.
No nothing.
No coochie. None of that.
And that's
None of
what's
that.
that's what's going on now. And I think even with our young girls, with these boys, that's another situation that our young girls gotta pay attention to because we let these youngsters sway us so much to Well, if he said don't talk to my mama, that's what I'm gonna not do. Bullshit, you can't tell me don't talk to my mama.
Who? Hmm. Who? Who? I would. Who? Who is
You know,
now? We
it's
we
just the
we gonna
whole.
argue. We gonna argue and we gonna act a dang fool. That's what's gonna happen. Uh-huh. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Because no, you can't sit up here and tell me I can't what the fuck I can and can't do. It's called a compromise. Now I might not need to go see my mom every damn day, but depending on what the situation is. Because you know you got some that's a little too clingy, but depending on what the situation is,
But
I
nobody
do
should be able
believe
to
in
tell you don't fuck with your
period.
mama. Nobody. Don't fuck with your
Period.
sister. That shouldn't even
Period.
come like
Yeah,
it's just the
boo.
little things that's
Yeah.
dividing family so bad.
Because I'm still waiting to hear from where the mama at. I know
It was one
that
thing
Allie.
said about her, and that was it.
Yeah, where's the mama at? I mean, I know she's dealing with a lot just because of the fact that now not only her husband's dead, but her daughters had something to do with it.
Right.
At least
I
one
would
of them
love to.
in goddamn way.
I would love to know what's her feeling or what's her intake on this. But
I
then
know
they
she's
said she
distraught.
was like she post. Did they? I think they post something on the media about. She said
Yeah, I
the
did
sister
read
set the daddy
something.
up.
Yes, I did read that. Now, I don't know if that's true or not, but I
Right.
did read that the mama did believe that Sway did set up Allie because you've heard in the video, you've heard her say that bullet was meant for me. That because she handed him the gun. You can sit up there and say your gun was on the couch, and I think she said Bree was on the table, but
It
because
just
she
was
said
so many stories to it. Like
but when you listen to her, she went back and sit up there and said that she didn't do that. But then she sit up there and said that Bree didn't want the guns in the house, so she was handing them to Henry so he can move the gun. So how did the daddy get killed then?
exactly. And then she was standing on one video with the girl on YouTube, and she got this whole accent, and then she said, you dig and do that, and then she crying and breathe, and
It's
at
extra
first it was like,
hyperventilating. Girl, bye.
and it's just the
Girl.
whole thing of this, the whole thing in a nutshell is just the loyalty in the
Yeah.
family. That's the whole thing in a nutshell. How
Mhm.
8,000, a half a million, how it turned those two girls against one another.
It turned one of them sour. But the thing that just throws me, your sister was the rapper. Even though you might have came along, but your sister was the one who was making the money. So I don't give a fuck if it was $5 or 500,000. It was her money,
Exactly. And she brought
and
you
I ain't got to give
along.
you shit.
Thank you. She brought you along. Like she brought you, she said, well, she my hype girl, but we gonna get her together where she can start rapping. Like she didn't have to do that. But because you my sister, I'm gonna bring you on this journey with me.
Girl, make it make sense. Like none of it, like I'm so through. Like I'm just so through. Like I just can't, I've been following it just because it's not necessarily because it's drama. It's just I really want to hear the real and the right story. But I really do believe the day that Allie went live, I really believe that that's the actual what had happened. Because you sit up there, you Sway ain't emotional. All she's sitting up there yelling at her, how you gonna do me like that? Your daddy is dying. Ain't nobody applying pressure. Ain't nobody doing nothing. You in the back of the cop car because you so goddamn hype. That's why you in the back of the cop car because you didn't know how to calm down.
You ain't know how to shut your mouth.
So now I'm gonna go live. I'm gonna go live. What? To sell your stuff? Because all we heard was you went live. It was a 500,000. That's all I heard. I didn't hear nothing else.
Not those.
So you can't, and I don't know why you keep thinking it's okay to try to change the narrative, because it ain't about money. Then what the fuck is it about? Because that's all the fuck you talked about. So
And
what
it's
is it about then?
and it's just the story to change and change. And I think the
Yeah.
moral of the story is about how much you sit back and look at in the loyalty. Let's say
It's
this is
gone.
this
You
is a
can't get
whole
that back.
family.
You can't, in our actuality, you know, it's gonna be a hard pill to swallow. But if I was Allie, I would just walk away. I would just, because at the end of the day, I know I'm a good rapper. At the end of the day, I know I have somebody that I can rely on. Now I don't know where your mama fits in this equation. I have no idea what that situation and what that dynamic look like. But at the end of the day, you just need to walk away. I know you feeling some type of way, about your daddy. You feel bad because you called him, but you needed help.
Right.
You needed help. That's why you called him.
And
Because
that's what daddies do.
Henry didn't already didn't put his hands on you already. And you knew it was coming. That's why you called your daddy. In all actuality, your daddy's not wrong for bringing a gun, because I will bring a gun too, because we know your ass is fucking crazy.
And not only that, that's my baby. Don't put your hands on my child.
Period.
Point
You say it
blank.
again. Period. Period.
You
So
know.
I look.
It's
Allie can
just
come on the
and
stand with me if she wants to.
I
Shit.
think the whole thing in a nutshell is, and because they in Alabama, I think all of them may go to jail. And then you have somebody that's in critical, and God
Bree,
forbid,
I believe
I
your
hope she
cousin or
don't,
something.
pass away, because that's gonna be 3 bodies on y'all hand. Because don't forget about
Yeah, yeah,
the
yeah,
older person
yeah,
that got hit in
yeah.
that situation
And
too.
see, and that's another thing. So everybody's riding with Allie, and everybody's riding with Allie, but then Allie sit up there and she threw herself under the bus when she sit up there and said, "I called my people to come handle this." And the motherfucker went to the wrong. He was in the right apartment complex, but he went to the wrong fucking door.
So he
You
fucked up.
caused that. See how your sister caused your daddy to die. You caused this man to die. So that's why I agree that it's going to Allie and Sway, Henry, and the other fella. They all going to jail. I
And it's
believe
gonna
that.
be it's the whole, and you step back and you look at it, it's a sad situation, because
It
that's
is.
one family that got broken up for what? Only
Over
them know the
money.
church, only them know the truth. And I feel like they're gonna probably go to jail, because the police gonna feel like they're not gonna get the whole story, the proper story.
Well, I
Cause the
mean, you putting
story
all your
to
business
change,
out
and I
there on
know
social media.
just
So
like
social
they
media
said that,
know.
just like we said on social media, the police said on social media too, and that's what people don't realize. They said they have a whole social media department. They says
Yep.
and they watch everything, so
Yep.
they're gonna feel like they're not gonna. You know what? We're not gonna even
Mm-hmm.
much ask them the story, because we're not gonna get the right truth. We're not gonna get the truth anyway. But the sad thing in a
Because
nutshell is two
yep.
people that the daddy and this older guy got killed
Mm-hmm.
on account of what?
Mm-hmm.
Disloyalty between two sisters. At the end of the day, that's what that was. Disloyalty between two sisters. One sister got greedy because of greed. She got greedy
Mm-hmm.
because the other sister, had some money. Like,
Yep.
that's what that, at the end of the day, that's what that daddy and that older man and this girl that's fighting for her life behind greed. And it's
Mm-hmm.
crazy the way they can let money or whatever
Mm-hmm.
dismantle this whole family.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And I
It's
mean, this
crazy.
family is really just dismantled. Like,
Yep.
it's just,
Yep. There's nothing. I mean, in all actuality, to be honest with you, there is nothing Sway could ever say to me. At that point, there is nothing else you could say to me, because you we've been evidently we've been arguing this whole time because the neighbors have said so. So y'all believe in fighting each other. Y'all don't have a problem with fighting each other. So that's toxic in itself. And then your boyfriend put his hands on me, and you think it was okay because you took him back. Then not just that. Now y'all trying to take my money too. Now he didn't kill our daddy. I have nothing for Sway. When I tell you I wouldn't have nothing for if Allie doesn't go to jail, that would be my cutoff point because you're the one who caused all this shit.
Right, and
Period.
even if she, let's hypothetically speak, she get off of this. It's gonna
Mm-hmm.
be it's gonna be a choice that she gonna have to make
Mm-hmm.
because it ain't gonna stop. Because
Mm-hmm.
hypothetically, all of them get off of this. It's not
Ain't gonna
this
stop.
situation ain't gonna
Nope.
stop. What's gonna happen is gonna get worse.
Well, I would at this point I don't believe you. I wouldn't feel comfortable with being around you because
She will
that
have to walk
bully,
away.
you said that bully wasn't meant for the daddy. The bully was meant for me. That's how I know where I stand in my relationship with you. So that means there's no from this point on, I wish you nothing but the best, but you're dead to me.
She will have to take this and swallow this pill and chalk it up that she gotta stand in this world on her own.
You're on own. Yeah.
But I don't think
Yeah.
we gonna hypothetically speak that they all walk away from this, but I don't think they're gonna all walk away from it. I
I
don't
don't
think
I
just
well we
one
already
person gonna go. I believe all of them. When this is all said and done, I believe all of them gonna go.
yeah. Well, Henry should already be in jail. I don't know what the other fella name is that killed the well, not bystander because you kicked in his door, so that was intentional. So and that's my thing is you couldn't tell he was 70 some years old. I mean, seriously, you couldn't tell he was 70 some years old.
First of all, you shouldn't
That
have been in
make
that damn man house anyway. You should have known
facts.
where you
You
was
shouldn't,
going at.
but you didn't know he was 70 something. I mean, come on now. I mean, make it make sense. So it's
And then
like
they ain't said if none of them went to jail or anything. You haven't heard anything.
I believe look, I believe Henry's already there because they already know who he is, so you can't hide, fool.
Because I know the girl who does the little update on TikTok with the glasses on, she always doing all of the crime
Oh,
investigation.
I think her name is Draco or something like that.
I don't know.
Uh
When
huh.
she get the news, okay, I could believe the news. She was like, "This is
Right.
a mess." She said,
It.
I want to sit back to see how this gonna unfold."
Right.
That's gonna
Right.
unfold. It's gonna unfold bad.
Yeah. Hmm.
I think all of them gonna end up going to jail, and then on top of
And
that,
as they should. Honestly, it's as they should because he
and then
shouldn't be
on
dead.
top of that, they got a damn GoFundMe to bury the daddy.
I ain't giving a dollar. Yeah.
So I mean, and
Because you
this all
because
this.
you because you online talking about you got she got a half a meal. So if she got a half a meal, what the fuck you need my dollar for? And then if you did you get the 8,000 from the unemployment or didn't you?
Well, I thought they said Sweet was saying her boyfriend or somebody was supposed to be the guy. I think that when she was telling that story on YouTube with the other girl who did the story on YouTube, the 3 parts, the 4 parts, I think that whole unemployment scam is just a story she just making up. Cause it's I
Oh
told
girl, I couldn't watch all
girl,
that
I'm
because
like
this extra hyperventilating bitch, you ain't hyperventilating. I couldn't watch it.
my
I
mama was
couldn't.
telling me, my mama was listening to her. My mama said all she doing is hyperventilating and
Yep.
making up a story to get herself
Yep.
out of it.
Yep.
And
And
if they listen to it, they may let her ass walk away from it. I said, I doubt that.
I doubt it. I doubt it. I don't care about that. I don't care. They don't care if you didn't cry and snot and shit. They don't care. You had somebody killed, and then y'all talking about setting each other up. So what's the fuck is a setup? Y'all both talking about it.
All
I
y'all
mean,
was talking
seriously.
about it.
So I mean, what's
It
wrong
just
with y'all young folk? What's wrong with y'all, Lord? What's wrong with you?
that's what they got first 48 hours for. Don't y'all watch that?
Oh, I do. Show do every Thursday.
Yes, I do. I mean, I think at the end of the day,
Mm-hmm.
it's just a sad situation.
It is.
And
It
it
is.
just go to show you how greed can turn a whole family
Whole
into
family. A whole family.
some bad shit, crazy shit. And it's important that it's important that, as you know, with family, we at some point we got to stop the disloyalty with with family. Family, God started family,
Mm-hmm.
and family is important. It's supposed to be important. Like, you supposed to have your. It's supposed to be my brother's keeper. You know what I'm saying? We got to stop this whole being so mad with one another in the family till you don't speak. Oh, I don't fuck with my auntie Betty. Why? Cause she told you something. Like, it's and it don't take it and that just to go to show you how it don't take much for you to get mad
Mm-hmm.
with your family members.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this,
Mm-hmm.
at some point, this whole shit gotta stop. We gotta stop being so hard on each other and help one another, especially family. We should not have to look for the people on the outside to motivate us and encourage us and get us where we need to be at. We should be looking at the motherfuckers who we lay in this bed with, or who we eating and sleeping and shitting with. Them the
Mm-hmm.
ones we should be. It should be us against the world, not me against
Yep.
you. Like, we gotta bring this whole family shit together. We gotta stop beefing with one another on small shit.
Mm-hmm.
That's the
Oh shit.
irritating thing. That be the irritating thing. It be something minor, some shit minute.
Girl, something TT said to somebody else that got back to you, and she didn't even say that shit about you. Mm-hmm.
Exactly. Like, we gotta stop
Mm-hmm.
allowing people to come in between our family. We gotta stop
Mm-hmm.
allowing people to come in and say, "Oh, Money said this about you, Erica," and me
Mm-hmm.
going off, and now here I'm going off, me and Money beefing, and come to
Mm-hmm.
find out 40 years later,
Oh,
or
say it
heck,
again. 40
not
years
even much
later.
40 years later, but at the next funeral,
Yep.
we
Yep.
talking, and come to find out we've been mad all
I
this
didn't say
damn
that.
time, ain't never said nothing.
Right. I ain't said that.
So, I mean,
And
that
you didn't
shit
you didn't
at
come
some
and
point,
communicate that with me. So it's both of y'all kind of fault. But you should have said when you heard it from Johnny, you should have not right then and there because it wasn't a time. But when you got a free second away from, I would have come talk to you. Let me talk to you. Let me talk to you.
when and it's just the fact that the communication barrier in families is absolutely zero.
It's
Like,
trash.
communication is zero. Like, we
Yep.
gotta stop letting the littlest things just tear the family apart.
That
Like,
and we got to stop protecting the predators in the family. That I was talking to a girl the other day, and she was saying how her nephew, let me say it again, her nephew molested her daughter. So when she found out about it, she was like, "Well, did you tell anybody?" She was like, "Yeah, I told her auntie," which was the predator's mama. And what did she do? Nothing.
nothing.
She said, "Oh, fuck that." I'm one. She went to go tell their father, "You need to go talk to your daughter." But while she's doing that, I'm calling 911 because I'm pressing charges. I don't give a fuck who you are. Now nobody in the family won't talk to her
Why? Because she did the right thing.
because you don't do that to family. You right. You don't do that to family. Your son does not touch my daughter.
So
Period.
where you make that right at?
You can't. That's something that we don't talk about. Girl, we just sweep that under the rug. Fuck that. That nigga going to jail. You hear me? He going to jail. I told my kids don't do nothing and don't let it. And I could be on the TV and know that's you. I'm calling on you. I'll be that mama. I'm her. Mm-hmm. Cause you out here, that's not how you was taught. I ain't teach you none of that shit. But we have to, as parents, we have to take that you know what, you wasn't raised like that. But at the end of the day, you grown, and that was a choice that you made. Ain't got nothing to do with me. You decided to go out here and smoke that crack. Mm-hmm. I
And
don't
you
know what.
decide to touch somebody. And since your
That
ass
too.
decide to touch somebody and I didn't
Mm-hmm.
teach you that, I'm gonna put your ass in jail.
And to come to find out, she wasn't the only one that he touched in the family. But the
That's
family
right.
been knowing about it. Okay.
And I think it's just so much, like, it's just so much be held in families. And then it's like these little secrets that come out in the family, and you're like, damn, when that happened? Because it's been swept under the rug. We don't talk about that. Like, it's just, when are we gonna get to the point where families are families? We loyalty to one another. We communicate. We don't let other people come in between us and not tear our families apart.
Well, when you find it, let me know, because I don't know anything about that.
So
I don't. I really don't know anything about it. I've always said, even though my mother had a big side of the family, I've always said that, I wanted to be a part of the family, but because we wasn't Bible thumping, since we wasn't Bible thumping, we was the black sheep of the family. So, we didn't get none of that, because, we didn't get that experience because we wasn't Bible thumping. Now that we grown, it's still a choice. And if I've reached out to you and I got nothing in return, then that lets me know where I sit in your life. And guess what? And it's okay. And that's why I'm down here. Y'all have a quality day. Okay. That part.
like, we gotta stop. Like, it's crazy. And I mean, no family is perfect. We all
Right,
have our
right,
struggles, but
right,
we have to come together to
right.
try to get to get, like, it just gotta, I don't know. It makes me crazy, because it's just, when you sit down and hear the story, like the twins and other story, how families be torn apart for just the smallest thing, in a family. It's just crazy. And not to say I have a great family, because we have our own issues, because some of us ain't talking to some of us. But, at the end of the day, that shit gotta stop. Like, we have to we have to come together.
Right. I agree. I mean, I agree
It
with
would
that.
be
I mean,
good in
I
a
would I
perfect
would like to do that. I would like to do that.
right, in a
But
perfect world.
right, but I'm not gonna do that. I'm not. I've done that, and the response that I got, okay, and that's how I know, I'm okay where I'm at.
Right. And it shouldn't be that, well, let me kiss 10 yards of your ass to see how you feeling. Let me bite your ass. Like, all that shit shouldn't even be happening in families. Hey, what's up? You coming over this weekend? Like it used to be. Like it used to be. Families used to be the shit. Like, we would spend a lot of time together as family. But then you have the uncles that hold the family together, or you have the big mamas that hold the family together. And once they leave, the family get buck wild and go crazy because the glue gone.
Mm-hmm.
But it
Yep.
shouldn't be that way, because guess what? They done put a solid foundation with that glue. That glue should still be holding. It shouldn't fall. It shouldn't go nowhere because they passed, whatever the case may be. The glue should still be there, even if they're there or not.
Mm-hmm.
But it seemed like when the person who holds the family together, once they pass on, the family just shit after that.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Which is sad, but it's
It's,
so true. It's sad, but it's so true.
so that's how I feel for tonight, y'all.
Yes.
It's always um topics like this, like these twins, and just to sit down and see that how easily our family can be broken on something so minute. So we
Mm-hmm.
need to pull together, y'all. If y'all watching this, all y'all that's not watching it, let's think about this. Is we need to bring family back together, because family where it all started from. You
Mm-hmm.
know, so that's our take for our show tonight. Um, you know, just love each other. That's all. That's all I got. Just spread a little love. Stop trying to be mean to everybody. Just love each other. Because we all need some love at the end of the day.
Yes.
That right there,
Yes. I don't know. Okay. Mm.
huh? Well, I'm gonna spread love, because
Okay.
you.
Spread love, no hate.
But you know what? I'm gonna look at it as this. I'm gonna go to church on you.
Okay. Well, cool. Okay.
I'm going to
You
church.
gonna is you singing? You singing?
I'm gonna
Okay.
go to church on you.
Okay. Come
And
on.
when I say what I say, I'm gonna just drop the mic and leave it there.
Okay. Okay. Come on with it.
How many times have God been unlovable from y'all? How many
Oh.
times, you done did some shit. How many
Mhm.
times God have left you? How many
Okay.
times God have stopped loving you?
Mhm.
So I'm gonna leave it right there.
Okay. Drop. Mic drop.
Drop the mic.
It is.
He ain't
Done.
never stopped loving us. So just like he loves when you ugly and when you done did the bad things, guess what? He still love you.
Mhm.
So when y'all ass is ugly to me, I'm gonna give you a little love. So
You
that's
said
how I'm gonna end. That's how I'm gonna look at it when I
okay.
say I'm gonna give love, because God have never stopped loving each and every one of us
Mhm.
because of our little ugly flaws.
No
So that's what I'm practicing on, just loving even no matter what.
matter what. Okay.
Right there. And that's on Mary Had a Little Lamb.
Okay, people. Okay.
So happy Friday. I hope everyone's doing well. I hope y'all have a great day, because we're gonna have a great day too.
Yep.
And remember, love is the key.